Hi, and welcome to another episode of Conversation with a Chef. I'm Jo Ritty, and I love sharing with you the conversations I get to have with talented and passionate chefs. It's the backstory, if you will, to the food they're putting up. I begin today by acknowledging the Bunurong and Wurundjeri Woiwurrung people of the Kulin Nation, traditional custodians of the unceded land where this conversation takes place, and I pay my respects to their elders past, present and emerging. There's a particular kind of welcome you only find in places built slowly and with intent, and that's exactly what I walked into at the Independent in Gembrook. Mauro Callegari has shaped this former mechanic's garage into something unmistakably his. Part restaurant, part gathering place, part expression of a life spent cooking and travelling across continents before landing in the Dandenong Ranges. Before we sat down to talk, he walked me through the space, pointing out artworks, ingredients, and the quiet corners where midweek prep happens. What followed was an open, generous conversation about the realities of running a regional restaurant now, the shifting landscape of hospitality, and the way Mauro's Argentinian Italian heritage and years of travel find their way subtly and confidently onto every plate.
Because all that sort of PR, it really helps, you know. I'm actually not good at PR. I'm just good at being myself and being generous and being genuine.
Maybe that is what it means to be good at PR, is to be genuine.
Yeah, I never chase for the stars, you know. It's like, this is me, this is what I do, this is how I do it.
Yeah.
And it goes the way that it goes, that's it. And then stay humble. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, it's so... It's busy here though. So what days of the week are you open?
Oh, we open Friday, Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
From noon until late.
Okay.
We close around 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. Yeah.
Okay. So just on those 3 days, you can make a living from that?
Yeah, when we open, we were opening from Wednesday through to Sunday. Yeah. All day. But through time, other businesses came to the area, and also the change on the economics and COVID was a tipping point. Yes. Like COVID was where we turned the corner. Like Wednesday, Thursday, we were just dead. Yes. Like completely dead. Yeah. So we have to make the decision of closing. So, you know, we condense a little bit more into Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah. So we start working from Wednesday, doing prep and receiving deliveries and going farming or foraging, whatever we do. And we just do that Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah. And then also we focus on trying to get functions during the week. You know, some corporates. We have this room at the back that is very good for corporate. And we do takeaway too. We do, you know, you just need to broaden your horizons. It's not the game of restaurant is not just restaurant anymore. No. You know, you do need to do other things to build your your clientele and your takings. You know, because cost of the overheads almost double up since COVID. Because, you know, examples, pre-COVID we used to pay for the insurance for the whole building around 9 to 10 grand a year. Now we pay 18 to 19. Wow. Yeah. Electricity and gas, it was a combined monthly bill of around 2.5 grand. Now it's 5.5. Wages, they went up, super went up. So everything takes from your bottom line. We actually operate without making a profit. We just take, because it's business operator, so I just take a good salary. Okay. And that's it. There is no profit. Wow. We don't make profit. Like, it's been since COVID, no profit.
That's so disheartening though.
Oh, it is. It is. It is. And hearing the news of the new budget now, that on top of how everything is going, now they want to take, so if you make a very little profit, they want to take 30% of that. That, I think that will take a lot of people, you know, not getting into politics, but I think it will take a lot of people to go like, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore. I might just go work casual. You can actually make more money working casual because very good restaurants, they are looking for good people to work. So I know friends of mine that they have restaurants that they pay $50, $60 an hour for someone that knows what to do. Yeah, you do 10 hours in a day, that's $500.
But that's such a shame for people like you who have really, where you really aspire to have your own place and to run it really well, and it's so well received, but to not make a profit.
Yeah.
It's just,
Yeah. When we opened in 2014, September 2014. We were very lucky. We worked very hard too, and we have, very good influences and good traction because it was nothing very good to eat in the area. Nothing, absolutely nothing. You needed to go to Warragul, where it was Big Spoon, Little Spoon, or Yarra Valley. Now you have more options in the area, But one of the things is like at that time used to be 12 to 15% net profit. Then through the years, pre-COVID was 5 to 7%. And after COVID, it's like minus.
That's crazy. And that's what people don't understand, is it? So when people come in and they say, it's so, the menu's so expensive or whatever, and I'm not talking about your restaurant, but in general, people complain about the prices of things. But when we go to the supermarket, we notice a difference in the price, that they've all gone up. Then in addition to that, you've got all of these overheads. It's astounding.
Yeah. I'm a firm believer, all the mid-tier restaurants, food industry mid-tier, is going to disappear maybe in the next 5 years.
Wow.
It will all disappear. It will be order at the counter places or high-end. Everything in between, like trattoria, bistro, all that, especially restaurants of the size of ours, the 100-people restaurants, disappear. It will all be 40 guests, maybe 50 maximum. That's what it's going to be, because you can't manage it with the workforce that you need, the labor that you need. It's impossible to manage it.
So what's going to happen for you?
In here we are, let's say, reinventing certain things. We have the possibility of opening a shop at the front in that private dining room that I show you. In there we could do a shop, like deli style. We could sell our own products. We make, a lot of sauces, dressings. We can make ready to eat at home meals, that sort of stuff. So we can try to build a business around that, because there is a market for that. Because you can see people they barely cook at home. The vast majority, they don't cook at home. People don't want to cook at home. They are too busy. Now it's always, 2-income households. So it becomes very hard. So I think if you can break into that with good meals at a reasonable price, I think there is a big chance of doing well. Like we do quite a bit of takeaway in here, considering for a restaurant of our size and the style of cooking, we do a lot of takeaway. And we started takeaway actually pre-COVID, about 6 months pre-COVID. And it was very lucky because when COVID hit, we were already set for takeaway. Most of places, they have to rush and try to get systems in place for that. We were all already set. Because a lot of people, they were saying, on a Friday night, sometimes I'm coming back home tired from work, from the city, and I don't really feel like cooking, so it would be great to be able to pick up a pasta or pick up a salad or so things like that. So we sort of like evolve with that and and try to do that. That's the main thing. And then we do catering. Like it's a lot of locals in here that they've been customers for the entire time that we've been open, 12 years, almost 12 years. And they go like, it's my son's 18th or 21st, or my daughter is getting engaged, so we go do it at home.
That's great.
Yeah, and that's, when you do catering, in catering you can actually make money because you cost it, you allocate, and you go do it. So it's that extra bit that you get in there.
And what made you choose Gembrook to open your restaurant?
Well, I told the story many times. Like when I was at True South in Black Rock, my friend Sam Gordon, he's the son of Andy Gordon from Robert Gordon Pottery. I came one day to order plates because everything was Australian made, custom design. And I came to order plates, and he says, "Oh, well, what are you doing next? What is on the card for you?" And I said, "Oh, I really would love to open my own restaurant." And he said, "Well, what are you looking for? Which area? What would you like?" And I said, "Oh, I love this Dandenong Ranges area because I always, since I arrived in Australia 2003, I used to come here to ride my motorbike, all this area. So I loved it." And I said, "Oh, I think this area has a lot of potential." And he said to me, "My dad last week, he purchased this big warehouse in Gembrook. Would you like to come check it out to see?" So the next week I came for a ride here, and I checked the place, and he said, "So do you see a restaurant working in here?" And I said, "Oh, 100%. It's beautiful." I said, "Look at the building." And the rest is history. We opened 2 years after that.
Yeah, because you would have had to, because what was it, a mechanics?
Yeah, it was a mechanics, but it was sort of like, for example, this, that on the outside you can see it, is an open roller door, a sliding door, and this is a pit.
Oh, right, yeah, okay. Yes.
That we cover it.
Yeah.
And here was the gentleman from next door, the motorist, that he did collection cars. He rented a bit of this to do his cars. And then at the front is another gentleman that lives around the corner from here, that he worked with metal work, that he built a trolley. He built all our wine racks, all the paths. He did all that. He had it sort of like as a warehouse. He had all his equipment, and that was it. So we have, the major thing we have to do is change the roof. Right. The roof is new. And then this part here at the back, we did it on the third year because we didn't ask for a loan or anything to do. It was all self-funded from the family. Because I always believe, like, my way of seeing business is a bit more conservative, like, especially in here. I didn't want to, get a loan and then you were like, oh, crap, it didn't work. And then you end up with a loan and bankrupt.
Yes.
So if you put your own money, if it doesn't work, you walk away and that's it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and then Sam did all the marketing and branding with myself, with my brother and my dad. And then Sam's brother Bobby and his wife Rowena, they have an architecture firm, so they did the whole design and project management. And then Hannah, the other Hannah Gordon, is 4 siblings. Hannah did all what it was retail and, the image. And then Kate, she did all the design of the plates and all that stuff. And we were business partners with them for about a year and a half, 2 years. And then this, I think, was too small for them. They had a big company, so they offered to me to buy it.
Okay.
Yeah, so I bought, we were 50-50. I bought another 10%. And because I couldn't afford, I was going through divorce, so I couldn't afford the rest. So I brought a friend of mine, Jess, that she used to work with me for Raymond Capaldi at Phoenix.
Yes.
So we joined forces. So she was here up until 3 years ago that I bought her out. She had a second baby and it was a bit too much for her. And so now it's just myself as a sole owner, and
That's amazing. And I guess, I was talking about it with Charlie, and he said, are you the owner and chef, and is that common? And I think for a lot of chefs, that's what the goal is, to have your own place, but it's hard, it can be hard to get there. There's a lot involved, isn't there?
100%. And I think the problem with chefs, especially young chefs, I think they get too cocky, too arrogant, and they worry too much about winning an award, a hat, or this or that, instead of focusing. At the end of the day, the most important thing is your business to be sustainable. And then you can focus, like, for us, when we got the hat, it was like, to me, it was like the biggest thing ever to achieve, because we actually never aimed for a hat.
No.
Like, we just aimed for you to come here and get my experience, what I want you to see, what I want you to taste. I want the kind of service, even though I work fine dining for half of my life, I didn't want that kind of service. We want, knowledgeable, that they can explain to you a dish, but sort of like, leave me alone. I'm here with my friend, with my husband, with my partner, just leave me alone, It's like, so that was a big thing to find the balance, and that's the reason why, like Laura, that she runs the floor, and, she runs pretty much a whole operation, is that I'm very happy that it has that. It's professional, but it's casual. That's what I like, and I think it's exactly the style of service that we want to give.
Yeah, I loved everything about it. We've just eaten so much food, like a real feast. So thank you for all the food that you sent out. And it has got such a lovely feeling. I mean, we're over in the lovely corner by the fireplace, so that's really cosy. But you're right, the wait staff are all just really friendly, but they're not there, they're not in your face the whole time.
Yes.
So it's really great here. And I love, you gave me the tour and showed me all the artworks as well. So there's a lot going on here, and I feel like you've really woven your personality, and obviously you've got really great connections with a variety of people in hospitality, but also in the artists.
Yes.
And it's really lovely to come in here and you feel that. It feels very much you, which is great.
Oh, thank you, because that's the sort of compliments that we like to get, because it's exactly what we want. It's like, you're coming to my house, basically, because we live at the restaurant, not at the house. Like, we are here, very long hours, even though we only open 3 days. Wednesday and Thursday we are also here from like 9-10 in the morning until 5-6 p.m. and also coming on Monday to do paperwork, and then on Tuesday if you need to plan for a menu or something happens or things have to be fixed, because it's always, the maintenance is huge.
Yes.
So it's always something to be done, and and it's very important to invest that time to be able to keep evolving. And every time when people come here, they can get that newness. That's very hard. I think in hospitality, Kate Gordon, she always says, the biggest challenge for you and your business, she does a lot of marketing, she always says, is newness. How do you bring newness? The customer likes belonging, because that's what the customer likes. You like to be recognized when you go to your place. People, it's like when you go to your local cafe, there is a flat white again today, or your soy latte, or whatever it is. So it's that, you belong.
Yes, that's right.
So it's a great, it's great for us to see that you, even though it's your first time here, you saw that, you felt it.
Yes. I know, absolutely. And so how do you describe your food? Is it Argentinian Italian?
It's, in Argentina there is a term that is called Italo-Argentinian.
Oh, okay.
Because Argentina has over 50% of the population, it has Italian background.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Why didn't I know that? That seems like a really big fact.
Yeah, it is.
Wow.
It's very big. And then we have another very big part Spanish, and then a small part French, and German. And in Argentina, we have the two biggest colonies of Welsh people,
Oh,
Swiss people, and Irish people.
is that right?
Yes, down south in Patagonia.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, it's actually entire towns that you feel, I'm in Switzerland, I'm in Wales.
What drew them
Entire.
there, do you think?
All this was with the First and Second World War.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's the same, like my family, my mom is a French background, my dad Italian background, and they all went to Argentina at that time.
I see.
Yeah, it's First and Second World War.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is very similar to Australia.
Yes.
How
yes.
they got the mass population.
True.
I think it was 30s, 40s, 50s, no?
Yeah.
So that's the main thing. But when you go back to my cooking, specifically, it's called Italo-Argentinian, but the food is very well influenced by my travels and my experiences. Is I don't like to do the traditional, like when we get Argentinian food, Argentinian people coming here, that they go like, oh, what is your asado? What is your barbecue and this and that? And I say, no, yeah, we do the asado, the beef ribs, but we do it in a different way. Like we do things the way that I like it. It's different. Like the black pudding, we don't do the classic black pudding sausage, soft. We make a croquette with it. With the ox tongue in Argentina, it's just pickle with onion, garlic, and capsicum. In here, I like to brine it, pickle it, and then we grill it before we serve it. And we serve it with olives, salsa verde, chili jam. So I just like that influence. And also I really like Moroccan food. So I work with a lot of Moroccan people in England, Moroccan, Algerians, French people, that they have a lot of those influences. And that gave me a beautiful range of use of spices. Like we used to cook for fun, for staff meals at a restaurant in London with a tagine. So, it was an insight from their family recipes, and I really fell in love with that. I love Eastern European food, Asian food. I love it. It's a bit of everything. So yeah, we have the base that is the Italian and the Argentinian, but we have all those influences. And for example, the risotto we make it as Italian as it is, properly done, traditional. We make the sofrito separate. We do at the end how it's called the mantecato at the end with the butter and the olive oil and the lemon zest and the lemon juice. And when we make the pastas are all freshly made. The sauces, we have one dish that is a casarecce with burrata that is similar to a pasta sorrentina. The burrata, we use that Zamore, that in my opinion is one of the nicest. I know Giorgio for many, many years.
Yes,
he's a beautiful
spoken
man.
to Giorgio.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And the tomato sauce, we make it with fresh tomatoes. We make our own passata. So, it makes a difference. I don't really like using tin products. It doesn't work the same. Like, all the dressings, like, you had the salad, we make our own mustard dressing.
Yeah, that was really good.
The dressing of the scallops, the dressing of the oysters.
I was going to ask you about that because that had such a nice ginger flavour to it.
Yes, the dressing of the oysters, coriander, ginger, lemon and lime, and chili. Yes, and then the little sauce on top of the oysters with the pickled cucumber. That sauce is, we burn capsicums and tomatoes until they are really black, and then we pass the juices and we emulsify with oil and cumin. So it really balances, good. You get the punch, the freshness, then you get the sweetness. So it's all that way, like all our nuts that we use in different things, like on the pumpkin, we like to caramelize the macadamias with some sambal, We always try to, just add that little extra that it lifted the
Yeah, I really loved
dishes.
the gnocchi with the ragu. That was delicious.
That's proper ragu.
Yeah.
It's done the same way in Italy. It's like the meat is melted into the sauce, and it's not just tomato sauce again. We use fresh tomatoes as a passata, and then we put also veal jus into it, and then the chicken stock, and it cooks overnight in the oven slowly. All the vegetables grated, because that's one of the key secrets on a ragu. All the vegetables have to be grated, not chopped.
Okay.
The onion, the celery, the carrots, everything grated. Yeah. And another thing that I do different to everyone, I don't really use raw garlic. Always the garlic is being cooked. We turn it into a puree, and then we use that. I feel like it gives more a sweet and nutty flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's delicious. And the desserts were next level as well. I felt like, I think with all of the dishes, and with what you're just telling me now, there's a lot of different layers, and there's a lot of layering of flavour and the time that goes into each of those dishes. But the desserts with those, the dolce de leche, and it's got the outside layer, and then it's got the ice cream, and then it's got caramel right in the middle. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's I cannot take credit on that one, because we have a pastry chef. Her name is, we call her Maria Lantelme. She's also Argentinian. And she's been consulting for us. She doesn't work here full time. She just makes our desserts. Because it works for her. She has a young family, and it works for us. She lives a bit far away from here, but she makes all the desserts. We just sit down and talk, okay, what are we doing next? What is this? What is that? Like next week or the week after, again, we are then changing desserts. That dulce de leche dessert is not changing. That cannot change.
No.
But the mango lamington that you have,
that was very good as well.
We always recommend that dessert when you're like, oh, I'm so full.
Yeah.
That's the dessert you can have when you're full. It's so refreshing. That mango ice cream, and it's fully vegan too.
Is it?
It's fully vegan.
Wow.
Yes.
I wondered that actually when I was having it.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah, and Maria Lantelme, she is like one of the best pastry chefs I ever worked with.
I just read a post on someone else's Instagram during the week where people were saying that pastry chefs are often, it can be the most challenging role, because it's so exact. To do a really beautiful creation with, sweet creation, a pastry, dessert, can be really difficult, and that they were lamenting that pastry chefs don't get enough recognition. So it's good to...
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
I agree, because always most of people, they focus, how was the service, how was the food? But when they say how was the food, usually they refer to savory food. They don't go to the end of the food.
Yes.
And I think that's something like, it's spot on what you said, is they don't get that right recognition. And also it's very difficult, because it's like Maria, she's a very difficult person in a good way, because she's so perfectionist. You know how many times she does things and she was like, oh, try this. And she says, oh, I think it's crap. Oh. And I was like, that's fantastic. They are so hard on themselves.
Yes.
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time. And I was like, what are you trying to invent? What are you trying? And she says, oh, I think it can be better. And everybody, we all tasted, and everyone was like, wow, what is this? And there, she's always searching for perfection, always searching for the next, because it's such a precise thing, like when I cook a risotto, it doesn't matter if I put an extra gram of lemon zest. But when you do a dessert, you put an extra 5 grams of sugar or coconut or gelatin or whatever it is, and it's a completely different result. So I totally get why they can be like that, why they can be so harsh with themselves. But, I know, I worked with Maria on and off since Argentina. We work in Argentina 1997, 98.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes.
That's great.
And then we end up, actually, I end up in Australia thanks to Maria and her husband, Dan.
Okay,
I was working with my partner at the time in London, and Dan and Maria, they were working at Sofitel on Collins Street. And I always wanted to come to Australia. You know, I was in that traveling segment of my life. And we used to talk, you know, and one day Dan and Maria, they said, hey, they are looking for chefs in here. And my girlfriend at the time was also a pastry chef. You guys want to come here? And I think that phone call was in October. In 3rd of January, we were here, landing in Tullamarine.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you've never gone back?
Yeah, it was amazing. I went back to England another 2 years.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah, with Lily, Alessandro's mom.
Yeah.
Because she never traveled overseas.
Yes.
So we said, oh yeah, let's go before, because, you know, for visa purposes, you had to go overseas before you turn 30. Otherwise, you can't get the visa at the time. Now, England is outside the European agreement, but I have Italian passport, so for me it wasn't a problem. So we went there for 2 years and work and travel and had a good time, and then we came back, and we just start doing things in here.
And you mentioned foraging. What do you forage?
In here is very good chestnuts, pine mushrooms. Like, for example, if tomorrow the sun is out, you can walk across the road where Puffin Billy train tracks are.
Yes.
And I tell you, you will pick up 10 kilos of pine mushrooms. It's insane.
That is
insane. You just need rain and sun in the morning.
Okay.
That's the equation.
And you can't go wrong with pine mushrooms, can
No,
you?
because
they're very distinct.
You can't confuse. You can't get confused. Yeah, that one. And then, you know, it's a lot of, like, if you need hard herbs, we got lemons. It's a lemon orchard that we go get the lemons from there. It's just up the road here. Truffles. We have 2 truffle farms.
Okay.
One is just down the road here. The other one is in Avonsley. Then is another truffle farm behind us in Gembrook. Then you have berries, potatoes, of course. Gembrook is potato land. What else? What else do we get? I'm trying to think. Lettuce, you get quite a bit. Lettuce, pak choy. Then we get from Kubi Wrap asparagus.
Yes.
It's lots of farms in there. Asparagus, pumpkin.
Yeah.
And then we get from Coldstream Brussels sprouts. That is actually a family friend. My son plays soccer, and it's a family friend that they have a farm, and they do really good broccoli, Brussels sprouts, pumpkin. That's pretty much it.
It's such a great area for all of that, I think. Even just driving around and seeing how lush it is, it's so green.
Yeah. And another thing that happens a lot is a lot of customers and neighbors that we have around here that they come with products.
Oh.
They rock up and they were like, oh, I have 10 kilos of figs. You know, oh, what do you want? Oh, nothing. Oh, just grab a bottle of wine. So they grab a bottle of wine and they go, things like that. Yeah. At home we have orange, mandarin, grapefruit, figs, pak choy, hard herbs, pepper berries. Then in here we have apples and wild strawberries and lime leaf. And then we have all the hard herbs. We have the bay leaf, the thyme, the rosemary, mint. And I think that's it. Oh, and the lemons, but they are new, these lemon trees. We just redid this area.
Okay.
So they are all new lemon trees. Yeah, before we have a bit bigger, they were in a boxer, but the boxes, they start breaking.
Yes.
So we sort of took them away, we redid the ground, and now we put them on the ground, new ones. And the other ones, we took it to a bigger farm so they can grow a lot bigger. But that table I was sitting next to you, the round table that they called me to talk, the gentleman, he said to me, next week I'm coming. They come very often. He says, next week I'm coming. He says, oh, would you like some, he offered jalapenos, he offered finger limes. He says, oh, next week I bring you, if you want it, I bring you. I have a lot in the farm. And you get that all the time.
That's great though, but that, I mean, you get that too because people see that you're part of the community and that, you know, that you are a people person and so on. So it's really lovely to know that that's happening.
And also another thing that happens is like we take into consideration the produce that we get like that, and it helps us having lower prices. Because it's not like we say, for example, lemons, you buy a box of lemons on the market and you will pay $80, $90, $100 a box. In here we get them for like 20, 25. So you can transfer that costing into the customer to be more affordable.
Yes.
You know, we do that like when we get, you know, the eggs are also local. The eggs are from a farm in Pakenham. And, you know, we are supporting, it's a small farm. It's a dad, mom, and they have a child. And, you know, they run their own little farm. They do X amount of dozens per week. They are called Yolks to You. It's a really nice little business setup. So that's the sort of things. Also, we have another one across the road from home. She will be now 10 years old. Ivy, her name, and we get the eggs from her too. They have like 40, 50 chickens, and that's her business. And mom and dad, they help her with the deliveries and that stuff. Right. But she does the collection, she packs them. It's beautiful. Yeah.
I love to hear that. Yeah.
And it's beautiful. And then we have, on the way, when you leave, you will see, just as you leave Gembrook, on the left-hand side, is like a little shop. It's a retired couple that they made brownies, cookies, Sansac biscuits, their own eggs. You should stop and check it out. It's beautiful. And they sell everything. It's an honesty box. And they sell everything. And if you need anything, you just ring the bell and they come out. Graham is his name. Make chutneys, their own honey. Everything is amazing.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah. It's like a village, isn't it? It's lovely.
Yes, it is really good. It's a very good sense, you know. It's a sense of belonging. You know, it's like I always been, you know, a city person. I grew up in Buenos Aires. You know, you have 25 million people in the city, all buildings, and you end up in a place like here. You know, by 3:30 p.m. feels like you're on holidays.
Amazing.
There's no one around. Just cruising. Never rush hour, peak hour, no traffic lights.
No. No, idyllic.
It's a beautiful space. It's a beautiful place to be.
And just going back to Buenos Aires, and starting out, did you always know that you wanted to be a chef?
I think I always knew, like my mom, my grandma, very good cooks. And my mom had a restaurant. And I worked there for quite a bit. But then I sort of like, I reached the roof too quickly, so I need to move to learn with like more professional people. And I did a uni degree on business and marketing, but I didn't. I knew it was going to be very good to do something like that, because doesn't matter what you do, business and marketing, doesn't matter what you do, you need it. And then I went to chefing school at a very good school run by a catering company. It's called Gay Gourmet. It's a worldwide company, and it was Swiss-based, the whole structure. So it was very European structure of learning. And I went to that school. That's actually where I met Maria and Danchu.
Okay.
So the friendship comes from a very, very long time ago. And I went there and I totally fall in love with it. And I always been saying since I was very young, my first thing, I wanted to be a pilot, but because I was almost blind from one eye, at that time you weren't allowed to. You needed to be 20/20 vision. You need to have 20/20 vision. So I just, I have to give up that dream.
Yes.
but I always said, I'm going to travel the world, I'm going to travel the world, I'm going to travel the world. So becoming a chef gave me that opportunity because it was very easy to find jobs. And once I learned English, that opened another 1,000 doors.
Of course. So you worked in England and,
Yes.
and where else?
Yeah, I work like work. I work in England.
Yes.
4.5 years.
Yeah.
And then I lived for a little bit in France and I lived in Italy.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Which part of France?
France was Paris.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
My auntie lives there.
Oh,
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. And that actually last year we went to visit her. Yeah, my son played a few tournaments in Italy.
Oh, that's handy.
He plays soccer, so then we went to spend time with her in France. Then we went to England, we went to Spain, visit my sister. And that's it. And then we came back.
Yeah.
Went to Dubai and enjoyed the water parks.
Yep.
Yeah, but I love traveling. I've been very, very happy and very lucky. I've been to 260 cities in the world.
Wow.
I have a list.
Yes.
Yes, I was very, very lucky. The 4.5 years that I lived in England, very easy to do traveling. You know, you
that's
go.
right.
Yeah, like I remember we used to do 14 days straight at the restaurant, and then they will give us like 6 days off together. So in 6 days, you know, we went like 3 days to Belgium, 3 days Germany, 3 days here, there. So we were always traveling a lot. And then when I first came to Australia, I did a lot of traveling around here too. And then I think it was year 2006. Yeah, 2006. I did a 6 months around the world trip on my own.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that was amazing. Yeah, I did Asia through to Europe, and then USA back to South America, and then back here. It was.
And yeah, so I see what you mean, that you've had all those experiences that really shape your food as well, because you must have eaten a lot of different cuisines.
Amazing, yes, yes. It's but I sort of like always keep going to. The other day my son was asking me, what is your very favorite dish? And I think I will always go back to Peking duck.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think Peking duck is almost an addiction.
Okay. Yeah, and is that with the pancakes you do?
Yeah, with the pancakes, yes. It's just, and he loves it too. Sometimes when we have time, we order the whole Peking duck for the both of us. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Like, I love Asian food. Yeah. I have stages. I think everybody has stages, and I think, you start getting older, so your body takes food in a different way. I remember when I was 25 to 30, we used to go all the time in Europe to Michelin-star restaurants, and we used to eat until we almost got sick. It was eating and drinking, no problem. And now, it's like, I don't want to go for dinner, let's go for lunch. Or is that deep fried?
Yeah.
Things like that. So now I'm in a phase, I'm into the chicken pho, beef pho, like
yes.
4, 5, 6 times a week.
Is that right?
Yes, and we are very lucky. We have 2 close by here.
Okay.
Excellent quality. Excellent. One is Ho Chi Minh in Fentregali.
Okay.
It's sensational. Everything they do is proper Vietnamese people.
It always feels like you're doing something really good for your body with that broth, because
yes.
it is so savoury
and it
delicious.
is. It's so healthy. Anything you eat from there is just healthy.
Yeah.
And I've been looking after myself and, go to the gym. And so, you sort of like tied everything up together.
Yeah.
And also my son playing a lot of sport. He's very conscious about food too. So he eats very healthy food. He's, You know, he go at a school, you know, it's not junk food. It's always, he has to eat a proper meal. He trains 6 days a week.
Wow.
So, and then he plays on Sunday. So it's very regimental, the sleeping, and I'm very proud, I'm very happy because, you know, he's looking after himself. You know, it's not like he's the one that says, oh, no fried food, no this, no that. And I don't even need to say it.
Does he cook?
So, yeah, he cooked, he likes cooking. And also Lily, his mom, very good cook. She's Filipino, very good cook. Curries, rice, noodles. Yeah, so he has the food, you know. Since very young age, he always ate good, you know, proper meals, never baby food.
No. Well, yeah, that's right. With two excellent cooks for parents, I guess. That's right. Well, you've had so many experiences, so many. What would your advice be to young people who are starting out as chefs?
Oh, it could be a lot of advice, but I think the main one is don't think it's easy, because it's not. If you're gonna do it right, it's not. It's a lot of effort, a lot of hard work, but it's very, very satisfying feeling when you achieve those little goals, you know, because from the moment you start as an apprentice and, you know, you have those goals, oh, you know, I learned how to make béarnaise sauce and it didn't split. Oh, I learned from this chef how to make a red wine jus and it's fantastic. And because now we are in this fast food, even for restaurants, you can buy everything already made for a restaurant. You can open a restaurant without chefs now, literally. But so when you learn all that, so, you know, if you go, my advice will be, you know, you have to work hard. And also the conditions now, they are very good because it's not anymore. When I came to Australia, we used to work 16 hours a day and you still get paid for 7.6 hours.
Yeah.
You know, all this changed now. So you are valued. You can do a very good career. So it's, you know, work hard, stay humble. Don't worry about becoming a master chef, about winning an award. Just create your concept. First, train, then create your concept. Once you have your concept, put it out there, and then the awards will come, the recognition will come. I just think it's your everyday judge is your everyday customer. You know, when people keeps coming back, that's when you know, oh, I'm doing it right. You know, when people want to come to the kitchen and say, thank you very much, it was beautiful. Oh my God, how did you do that sauce? How did you do that dressing? I think that's when it pays off. Yeah. And also go work for good chefs. Yeah. Like go work for good chefs. It's hard to work for good chefs. It's not easy, but go work for good chefs. If you're taking it serious, that's the way to go.
So great, thank you. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you for asking me to come because it's so wonderful out here. I'm going to be telling everyone about it. I know you've got a wedding to get ready for, so yes. I might let you do that. But it was so great to talk to you. Thank you.
No, please, thank you for your time. Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Conversation with a Chef with Mauro Callegari at the independent Gembrook. You can check out all the goodness, and there's a lot of it, on Instagram at the independent Gembrook. That's all one word. If you'd like to hear more stories from other chefs, I'm also on Instagram at Conversation with a Chef. You can read this chat online at www.conversationwithachef.com, and of course you can follow me on Apple and Spotify podcasts. I would absolutely love it if you told a friend about my chats. I still think it's the best way to get these delicious stories out into the world. Once again, thanks so much for listening. Have a great day and bon appétit.